Okay, students, welcome to another day, another part of our Cream Puff Lab Day. Now, you know previously I have gone ahead and washed my hands for a minimum of 20 seconds, and that I have read over the instructions. This right here was yesterday. Today we're doing the second part, or if you're in school, it's day 2 of taking and creating a wonderful, delicious cream puff treat. I have read over the instructions again. I have assembled all of my ingredients, and I'm ready to begin. It says to start with that I'm going to be making some pudding according to package directions, but I don't need the full package, I just need a half. So on your instructions, it tells you that you have 1/4 cup plus 1 teaspoon of pudding mix. I've chosen to do chocolate fudge, but you could do butterscotch, you could do vanilla, you could do pistachio, or you can do chocolate. Whatever flavors there are, you can stuff your cream puff with it. Students at school will be receiving a little bag, and this is a pre-measured quantity of that 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons. I'm going to open this up carefully because I don't want to spill any of it, and put this in my, it says right here on your instructions, your medium-sized bowl. If we do it in the small bowl, we're going to run into a little bit of trouble when we do the whipped cream. Okay, so I'm going to get that, just jiggle that to get all of that out. And then I'm going to add in, it says 3/4 cup of milk. This could be whole milk, it could be 1%, it could be 2%, it could be skim. I will use my liquid measuring cup because it is a liquid, and then I'm going to have it on my countertop, and then I'm going to squinch down to see that I have 3/4 of a cup. This milk that we're using here in school is 1%. And I'm going to go to my 3/4 cup line, and when it's exactly right on, then I'm going to go ahead and call it a good measure. I'll take this right here, and easy as pie, just pour that in. And as my instructions say, I'm going to start whisking it. Now, this has some ingredients in that pudding mix that was going to help it thicken up with no issue. You can make homemade pudding, that would be up to you, but I'm just going to start whisking this, wiggling it back and forth, and trying to break down all of the little lumps that the pudding might have already in it, making it nice and smooth. And I will do this for a timed amount of about 2 minutes. Almost immediately, I'm feeling like it's getting thicker, and there's just a chemical reaction happening here. Let that go on for about 2 minutes. Wiggle, wiggle. You're going to be timing this, so you could use the timer on your microwave. You could use it on your watch. But here at school, you know we don't pull out cell phones because cell phones haven't been sanitized. And we'll mix that for about 2 minutes, which is just about where I'm at right now. Once this is done, I am going to remove my whisk because it will get set up with the pudding as this continues to do its little setting up. So I'll give a quick little tap. Don't tap too hard or you're going to get it in your face. Place that to the side, place my pudding to the side, and let it wait till I'm done with the next part. The second step is to prepare whipped cream out of our whipping cream. One of the things that we're going to learn is that whipping is actually a cooking term. It's a cooking term that means that you are taking and adding in air. So we're going to whip the whipping cream and make it go from being a liquid to a more semi-solid. I've had my bowl in the freezer. Actually, I like to get it really cold. Here at school, you won't be doing that, but I'm just going to do it to speed our process along. It says in our instructions that we're going to be making 1/2 cup of whipping cream out of 1/4 cup whipping. Wait, let me say that again. 1/2 cup of whipped cream out of 1/4 cup of whipping cream. It's going to pull in so much air that it's going to double in size. So I'm going to measure out my 1/4 cup. Again, it's a liquid, flat surface, eye level. And then I'm going to just take my whipping cream and I'm going to put it into my small mixing bowl. We need the smaller one for whipping this. I'm going to use my flexible spatula to scrape out every little bit of cream. It wants to stick a little to the side of my liquid measuring cup. Then my next instruction is I'm going to find my 1/2 tablespoon measuring spoon and my sugar. I'll put these two together. When you measure your sugar, you're going to have it overflowing with the straight edge of that straight edge metal spatula. I'll level that off and put that in there. Then I'm going to get out my electric mixer and beat it till it has stiff peaks. I'm going to show you what that is. But first off, I've got to put my electric mixer together. All right, 1 and 2, just wiggle it till it snaps in. I'm double checking, I'm making sure it's off before I plug it in. After I plug it in, if it was on, it might rip my hair out of my skull if I have it too close. So I'm gonna put this in here before I start the mixer. I'll start on a low speed and then go higher. All the way up to a high speed. And I'm slowly going to see some foamy bubbles on top. I'm just going to be patient as I move this around and around. And it's going to start to change texture. It's getting thicker. You can't see probably too well from my video clip, but when you're standing in front of it, you sure can. Looks like let me think of something. Like maybe the texture of a thick paint right now. If I use a larger bowl, then not enough of that whipped cream is in the mixer. The mixer's not deep enough into it. And the way that it's going to pick up the air and increase in volume and change texture is by getting that air bead in. Maybe you can see I've got some real change happening right now. Still on high, just moving this around. Oh, it's changing. You can't overmix this, so watch closely. I'm just going to pull out right now. Can you see that it's kind of got some texture going on? But a stiff peak is when I pull this out and the whipped cream is going to hold its shape. You can see it's still kind of soft. So let's carry on. I'm close though. Let's see if I'm near right now. Oh, I feel like I'm really close. Really close. It looks like it's holding its shape. So when I pick this up, look at that. That does not even change. Gravity has no effect on it. All right, so now I'm done. I'm going to push my eject button on my electric mixer. I'm going to give a tap, tap, tap. Nobody's going to lick these, even if you're dying to. We got COVID. And I'm going to place these to the side. Now, before I carry on, I want to talk about this electric mixer. Before you do anything, you're going to unplug it. Then I want a wet washcloth. This one's wet. If you can't tell, I'm telling you it is. And I'm going to wipe down the bottom, the handle, the whole entire body, but it has to be unplugged. And then I'm also going to wipe off the cord. Then take that cord. Here at school, I want you to wrap that around and around and around. We keep our appliances clean so they look brand spanking new, even though this might be 10 years old. We've cared for it so it's in good shape. All right, next step is to take and fold in the whipped cream. This is now called whipped cream, not whipping cream. Whipped cream, 1/8 teaspoon of vanilla, and we're gonna put it into our pudding. Now our pudding, look at that. Can you see that? That is like, it is all the way all set up. I'm going to simply take the whipped cream. I'm going to use my flexible spatula. I'm going to pop this in here. It's going to sit right on top because that pudding is all the way set up. Scrape this all the way out. Oh, yum. Delish. I'm going to put this to the side. I'm done with it. And again, this is all going into the pudding. I'm going to put in 1/8 of a teaspoon of vanilla. Now, let me kind of talk about something that's sad. Sometimes people like to measure over the top of their ingredients. If you measure too much of this, you can ruin this. It's much better to make a mess on a countertop or throw something away than it is to ruin your product. So this is my 1/8 teaspoon measuring spoon. Have you tasted vanilla before? This stuff is nasty by itself. I'm just saying. I'm going to pour this into my little tiny measuring spoon. Oops, got a little bit much. Till it's so full I'm nervous to even move. And then I'm going to put that in there. All right, let's put the lid on so we don't accidentally knock it over. This can wait. Get that lid on. And then we're going to fold in. The way you fold in is to go across the side, down across the bottom, and flip it up and over. We don't mix this like violently with our wooden spoon or anything, because if we do, we could end up popping the air bubbles that are in that whipped cream and end up changing it back into kind of like a runny mixture. So we're gonna fold this in around, across the bottom, up, over. We're folding it like if it were sheets. We're gonna go around, across the bottom, fold it in half. Around, across the bottom, fold it in half. Now you can see I got some that looks like it's pretty well blended, but then I got some where it's dark stripes and then white stripes. So I'm just gonna be patient, and I'm gonna keep doing this until this mixture is mostly completely well blended. I don't wanna do it more than I have to. I wanna go right to the right, straight, right amount. So I'm just gonna keep my eye on that. And as long as I've got big streaks of white or dark, in this case, the dark from the chocolate, I am not done. But my friends, doesn't that look nice? Doesn't that look smooth? I think we are done. Okay? Oops, I got one little spot right there I just knocked off of my flexible spatula. All right, so at this point, we are ready to go on to step number 4. I'm gonna just place this to the side for half a minute as I pull in my next ingredients and my next bits of equipment. I have my cream puffs that I baked previously. They're all the way cooled down. Here they are. They're really light and airy. I'm gonna pick this one to demonstrate with. And the step number 4 says we're gonna cut the shell horizontally near the top. We're gonna make like a lid. Now students, this straight up and down is vertical. Across is horizontal, like the horizon. So I'm gonna take my cream puff and I'm put it on the side, and I'm gonna cut probably 2/3 the way up. I still want a top. What the heck? It's all hollowed out. That's because of the air bubbles that happened while I was baking. This, if there's a lot of this inside, pull it out. If you happen to have a hole at the bottom, you can use some of this to cover up your hole. And now you're ready to fill the shell with the pudding mixture. I would take 2 spoons, just 2 regular spoons. You're gonna take this luscious pudding, you're gonna place it inside of your shell. And remember, this has to be divided evenly between all your cream puffs. So don't be having the first person take it all. Then you're gonna take this lid, can we call it lid, the top, and we're gonna place it back on top. You're gonna see, let me see if I can pull it, the some of it's gonna be showing. And then I'm gonna grab a plate. Now I'll leave it just right here for this demonstration. We're gonna dust the top with powdered sugar. This is powdered sugar, also known as confectioner's sugar. What they do to make this light powdery stuff is they take regular sugar and basically put it in a blender and it takes the granules and makes them into powder, really nice and fine. I already have some in my big container right here, and I'm going to grab a spoon, but I'm not putting it right directly on top. I'm going to take a spoonful of sugar, and those of you here at school, I'll give you a little cupful of it. I'm going to use my, what's this called? Strainer? You got it. And I'm just going to tap, just tap, 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 just a little bit, maybe a little touch more. I'm going to make a snowstorm on top of that, and that, my dear friends, is a beautiful, wonderful, delicious cream puff. Let's see if you can pull it on up. Oh, yum. You want to take a look at the side on that? Oh, yum. I would probably eat this with a knife and fork. Just saying. You can pick it up, but they can be pretty messy if you do so. The difference between these and eclairs is simply the shape and the way that you put the pudding into it, but they're lovely and delicious. I hope you enjoy your first experience making cream puffs. All right, thanks. See you, bye.